Welcome to the first episode of Sciatifukt. In these videos I'll be talking about what it's like to have sciatica and maybe give you some helpful tips on how to deal with the pain, how to avoid the pain, to not make it worse, how to sleep with the pain, move with the pain. And yeah, so every sciatica case I suppose is different. I've got a L4, L5 small bulge which is causing a bit of distortion in the nerves, and an L5, S1 large one which is pressing, lateral one which is pressing quite profusely against the sciatic nerve, which is causing pain along the left side of the leg from the buttock to under the foot. It first started a long time ago when I actually 5 years ago, I think it was the first time I had something related to sciatica, which was when I played bowling. I tried to use the biggest ball I could find, bowling ball, whatever they're called, and tried to swing my arm as hard as I could, and the next day I could feel it in my body that I'd done something wrong, stupid. But it was okay because I went to a physio. They did a massage and used some electrical machines and some laser stuff, whatever, and they fixed it in a day. But ever since, every now and then I'd feel something in my back. And about a year ago I lifted something very heavy. I tried to use the right posture, like bending the knees, straight back and all that, but after a few weeks I feel it getting a lot worse. It wasn't to a point though where I had a problem I thought it had to be addressed. So I continued. And about 3 months ago, I started going to the gym, doing kettlebell exercises. I played golf. I went trampolining, all in a week. And suddenly my back probably said no. And I started having a lot of pain down the leg. Started to have so much pain I wasn't able to walk. And that's when I realized I've got a problem and I need to sort it out. So I went to NHS. They gave me an appointment for like weeks away. So I went to a private osteopath and he did the usual test they do for sciatica, and he said, yeah, you probably have sciatica. I don't remember the name of the test, but it's something to do with the legs to see how far you can push them up, have them straight and all that. And he said he'd start to treat me. So after about 3 sessions I didn't see it working at all, so I stopped that. I continued. I went to the NHS, talked to the GP, and they arranged an appointment with the musculoskeletal person, who then referred me to the physiotherapist. I did physiotherapy for about a month or two, which was basically giving me exercises to do, which I'll talk about some of the exercises at a later stage, and did some manipulation on my spine, because apart from having the sciatica, my spine started to curve because of the way I was walking. When I had sciatica, the pain was so much, my body kind of leaned to the right, so walking like that for a long time caused my spine to curve. Apart from that, one thing that was everybody with sciatica will know about is called equina, which is when your nerve actually gets so when the bulge presses so much against the nerve that it completely blocks it. You can like have leg paralysis or whatever and start having bowel problems. And when that happens, when you have saddle anesthesia, is when you can't feel anything in your bum around that area. When that happens, you have to go in for emergency surgery. So I started feeling some weird sensation down there. And so I said, okay, I'll go to the GP, and they referred me to the hospital to go and have an MRI to see if actually cauda equina. So they gave me the MRI. They put a finger up my bum, but I didn't have cauda equina. They just confirmed that I have sciatica due to a bulging disc L4, L5, S1. After that, continuing to see the physiotherapist, give me exercises, going to the swimming pool to do as much as exercise as I can related to the stretching and all that, but nothing helped. So they referred me to the spinal surgeons, which I'm waiting to see, and which is on the, sorry, I might sneeze. You can't sneeze when you have sciatica. The pain is 9 out of 10. I'm reserving 10 for when I pass out from the pain. What was I saying? Yeah, seeing the spinal surgeons in about 3 weeks' time. I've had sciatica for 3 months. I just started thinking about doing a video now because some people might find it helpful about some of the tips that I found of how to move and how to, and it's always nice to hear someone with the same problem, because if you don't have sciatica, you probably don't understand the pain. I'm sure there are other things that cause a lot of pain, but shit, I think we have a right to talk about the pain, and it's also a way of kind of, I don't know, blowing off steam. Yeah. So as soon as I think of what else to say, I'll come back. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is the lack of information regarding sciatica, not on the internet or people knowledgeable about it. It's related to letting you know the possibilities of sciatica and what it is and what can happen if you do this or that. For example, when you're at school, most schools, I grew up in Greece where we had physical education but never heard of sciatica. I don't know what the situation is in other countries, but they could at least give you some hints on. They tell you, for example, look, this is how you're supposed to pick up things, this is how you're supposed to use your back, how straight, blah blah blah. But they don't tell you if you don't do this, you will have serious back problems, even though they might tell you, but they don't tell you. I don't know, I don't think there's enough information about it, and it's something that loads of people have. For example, since I've had it, everywhere I go I hear about sciatica, about this thing which you've never heard about, but when you have it, everybody has it. From taxi drivers, from people on the bus who see me walking like this, then they start talking, oh, I had sciatica once, he looks like he had sciatica. And then we start a chat about it. Taxi drivers who've had it for years, and it's generally it's something that's like an epidemic nowadays because of our sedentary lifestyle, because of the way that we've changed types of jobs from like being, manual kind of on your feet jobs to sitting on at a desk for 8 hours a day. And it's becoming something more and more off frequent. Before, maybe people could have a bulging disc at around 60, 70 years old. Now it's like 30. I'm 36. People even younger than me have it, and it's a serious problem. Sorry, somebody's calling me, just one second. Sciatica. And yeah, the problem with sciatica is it's a back problem, so it's on your spinal cord. One of the discs has had a problem. It has two layers. The outer layer has opened, and maybe the inside part is kind of leaking out, or the whole disc is moved. It depends what it is, but because it's pressing against your nerve, the pain is in your leg. So you might have sciatica in a pain in your buttock or your leg, whatever, and you think, oh, my leg's hurting, I might have done too much exercise, and it's just a muscle pain, it'll go away, but it doesn't. When you do more exercise or whatever, you do something to strain your back even more, and the bulge might come even more out, protrude, and press against the nerve even more, and you start feeling more and more pain till there's a point where it's so far out which you think, oh, this is really bad. Sometimes you can have another thing called disguised sciaticas, when your piriformis muscle gets damaged, whatever, and it's kind of inflamed and it pressing against your nerve, which passes as well through your buttocks. So I think that's a better case because it's a muscle thing, so you can probably sort that out. I'm not a doctor, I'm just speaking of things I've seen on the internet. And so yeah, the problem is you don't really know it's a back problem, and it's a spinal problem. So I suppose without this information at a young age to know, look, you have to take care of your back, you have to do this and that to make sure you don't have this. And if you do, it's going to start leg pain, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have serious problems, so make sure you deal with it. For example, when I started having this problem, I had the leg pain. I didn't do much. I went to the doctor and he said, yeah, make sure your posture is good at work, do some, don't know, maybe core exercises, but in no moment was I told, look, this is usually caused because you have a bulge in your spinal disc, when your disc is probably leaking against your sciatic nerve, and that's why. I thought it was like a muscle thing that can easily be treated, even though I'm the kind of person that leaves everything to last minute. But had I known this is a spinal thing, I would have said, ooh, and maybe I've gone to the doctor twice instead of once and asked for another opinion, see, take it further. But I didn't, and now I've been in bed for at least a month, getting up to eat because I can't eat on the bed anymore, because this is the position I'm in, like on the bed, lying. I'll explain more on that later, but yeah. More information for the earlier stage of sciatica, because you can do something about it when it's early. You can do exercise in order to stretchings and things like that to give more space between your nerves and things, so it doesn't hurt that much, so you can deal with it if it's early. If it's a later stage and your only solutions are, if you can't do anything with physiotherapy, is surgery, spinal surgery. This is basically opening you up in the back, taking away your muscles, so you can drill on your spinal bones, so you can have space to get to the bulge. Then they use a machine to grab the bulge and cut it away before they obviously put your nerve to one side so they don't damage it, because if they damage it, you can imagine what happens if you damage the nerve which takes care of your blood functions, your walking, your everything below the what is it? Below your bum, let's say, or your waist. That's it. And so yeah, it's not an operation to take lightly. So better treat it earlier rather than later. Knowing about it is a good way to do that. And yeah, let me think of something else to say and I'll come back. So one of the main pain problems I have with sciatica is, apart from having pain for 24 hours a day and not being able to walk, one of the main, I can walk, like to go to the kitchen, maybe to the toilet, things like that. I've got my personal toilet here. Yep. Well, for number 2. Is it number 2 or number 1? I don't know. I think this number 2, number 1 thing is wrong. I think they should do number 1, number 2, and number 3, and to make it rhyme as well. For example, number 1, because this numbering system is got to do with bodily functions, yeah, bodily fluids especially, and solids, I suppose. But number 1 should be when you come. So, you know, when you either self-love yourself, or when you love another person, let's say. So 1 for come. Number 2 is when you poo. And number 3 is when you pee. So that would make things a lot less confusing for people. So I'm going to use that nomenclature for now, that numbering system. So when I do number 3 for pee, that's it. Number 2, I have to, well, thankfully my system works like clockwork. So in the morning it tells me, yeah, go to the toilet to do number 2 for poo. So, and that's a good thing, because in the morning is when I have the least amount of pain, so I'm able to get up using crutches. Oh, I've forgotten them in the kitchen now. But I use crutches, go to the toilet, do my number 2, and I'm done for the day. So that's good. The number 3, pee, is I have my bottle here, which I empty every X amount of time. My wife empties it for me, poor thing. So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, the pain. The main thing for me is getting out and back into bed, because when you're out of bed, your spine, when you're walking or sitting or whatever, standing, your spine compresses, and I think it kind of pushes the bulge even further out. And when you get into bed, your spine decompresses. And for some reason, this decompression or compression, initial compression, decompression, causes me a lot of pain. To the point when I get up, depends what time of day it is. If it's in the morning, it's more or less okay. But if it's after like 2 or 3 o'clock, the pain is, it goes to number 8. Yeah. So I haven't found a trick yet for getting out of pain, apart from having a stool next to the bed, so I sit. For some reason, sitting for like 10-20 minutes before actually standing makes the pain more manageable. But the good trick is, after I'm standing and getting into bed, the pain is a lot as well, and I can't find a position I'm comfortable in. But I found a trick where I'll show you right now, where you kind of hang partially off the bed and actually hang down like this, and I think it makes your spine, I don't know, expand, or pulls your spinal discs apart, I suppose. And usually I have it with one leg to the outside like this, bent, and the leg which hurts straight. And you can feel the pain going away slowly. And once the pain goes away a bit, then you straighten your other leg as well until that stops hurting as well. And when the pain is going away like this, then you slowly move backwards like a slug, or like a worm, or whatever you want to call it. And slowly till you're all on the bed, and you're straight on the bed like this. And then you stay here for another 10 minutes, whatever, till you're in no pain again. Pain medication helps. But this is a good way of dealing with the pain without so much depending on the medication. And then you kind of, you're able to flip over and rest on the bed without so much pain. That's probably the number 1 tip I've learned by myself. And maybe it's only good for me, maybe it's not going to help you, but it's definitely worth a try. Definitely. So obviously with this problem, it's a bit hard for me to work. Luckily I work in software engineering, and you basically just need a laptop, and you can just bash away at the keyboard, and that's what you do. But it's a bit hard to find remote work at the moment. I was working before I had this problem, and while I had this problem, luckily the company where I worked for, I contract. It was a small company, and I could just work on the floor. So I had some yoga mats. I was just lying on the floor and doing my work. But unfortunately that job finished. Not because of sciatica or anything, because of other reasons. The whole company actually had to close. So I was out of work So this sciatica plus this it's not been a good start to the year. But I'm looking for a remote job at the moment. But yeah, I can't imagine what I would do if I was a builder. So having this, and well, I suppose if you're a builder, your core is more built, so that's a good thing if you have muscles in your back and your core that support your spine, and you probably have less chances of getting sciatica. But I'm sure you need to take care of how you lift things and things like that. But yeah, but should I had a job which is related to manual work, and I would be completely Sciatifukt. And luckily, no, but still, I can't find a remote job at the moment. But well, I'm sure that something will pan out. Hopefully, as I said, my surgery, my meeting with the surgeons is in mid-February, in about 3 weeks. So hopefully they'll agree with me that it's a surgical case, and I'll need surgery. But till then, yeah, life in bed is it's okay. Catching up on software development and things that I've got knowledge gaps in, and learning about new things, and a lot of PS4, catching up on my PS4 skills. So we've brought in the TV from the living room to the bedroom. A lot of TV, a lot of podcasts. Yeah, you have to find ways to spend your time. It helps if you're kind of a house cat kind of person. If you don't mind staying in for long periods of time, which, to be honest, I don't. But it is getting to the point where it would have been nice to be out, walking, running. I never used to like to run. I dreamt about liking to run, but in practice it never panned out that way. Never liked it, but it's the one thing I'm really looking forward to this time, if I get better again, is running. Just even 10 meters, just run like Forrest Gump. I think if I get better, I'm just going to run everywhere. Run to work, run to the shop. Yeah, running. I don't know if I should run, because probably the vibrations, the hitting the ground with your feet, this probably not good for your back. So maybe in the future I'm not going to run either, but I would like to probably walk fast, or get one of those, one of those Segway things. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So adapted the bedroom to my needs. Yeah, one of the problems, as I said, is my back curving, which is probably down to the fact that my back beforehand was straight. So because of bad posture at work, maybe sitting down, crunching, my spinal column was always kind of straight. It doesn't have that curve inside where usual backs have. Inner curve, not lateral curve. And because it was straight, I think by walking kind of to the right side, it actually started curving. My spine started curving. I'll show you a picture of it later. So very important, if you've just got sciatica now and you feel like while you're walking your body is pushing you to the right, don't walk. Just sit down, or if you're far from home, just get a taxi home, whatever. Just don't force yourself to walk with your back to the side, with your whole body leaning, because it will do something to your spine. At least it did to mine. And now that means every time I get up, I can't sit up straight. I am leaning forward and to the right a bit. I try to be leaning at least straight forward, but I can't sit up straight. I'll show you later as well. So I'm using crutches at the moment because I can barely walk without them. And at least it's keeping my back, it's a bit straighter. Another thing you do is you lose a lot of muscle. Not that I was a bodybuilder before, but I had a bit of muscle in my legs or whatever, and I've lost quite a bit of weight, which is a bit weird. Some of it must be down to the losing muscle because it weighs more, but also the fact that I'm eating just once a day, because I can only get up once in kind of afternoon, eat and then come back. So just eating once a day at least has helped not put a lot of weight on, because some of the medication they give you as well makes you put on weight. Thankfully I didn't put on much weight. I think I lost a bit of weight. We get another call, I'll come back. So yeah, I was talking about medication, and give you a lot of opiate based stuff, which probably shouldn't be good taking for a long time, like cocodramol, amitriptyline. I don't know if that's opiate based, but well, amitriptyline and diazepam and all these cool things which don't seem to work for me. The best thing I get out of them is actually sometimes it puts me to sleep, but the best thing for sleep I found is my own natural Bob Marley medicine, which kind of is pretty good for the pain and for actually going to bed. And yeah, don't know if that's legal where you guys are. It's probably not. I don't know if it's legal here, Bob Marley medicine. But well, that's about the medicine. Yeah, they gave me lots of Nurofen as well with the stomach protector, because the amount I'm taking is crazy. So it'll probably at some point do something to my stomach lining. So, but Nurofen doesn't do anything to me, even though it's ibuprofen based. I find that pure ibuprofen, well, the white label ibuprofen you get from the shop, or the Anandin Ultra, seem to be the ones that most that do the trick related to my nerve pain. And it's weird, the nerve pain is quite different to muscle pain or to any other kind of pain I've experienced. It's like a really bad toothache, but on your whole leg all the time. Yeah. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, I hear lots of people saying it's like sticking a knife through your leg. I don't know. I've never felt what a knife feels through my leg, but I felt what a bad tooth pain feels like, and this is like a big tooth pain. It's like having a big tooth rather than a leg on where your leg is, and having a toothache. Yeah. But well, the good thing is lately I found positions on the bed which doesn't hurt, or at least the pain is 1 or less than 1. And the problem with pain level 2 is that it's irritating if it's constant, and getting to sleep with a 2 pain is bad. 4 pain is, I like 4 or 5 pain more because it hurts. You take some medicine, then it goes down and you feel that relief, and you can say, or even if it's a pain 1, then you say, oh, it's much better than before, I can go to bed. But if it's 1 or 2 constant, then it's really irritating. Hard to sleep. Very hard to sleep lately. You just wake up every half an hour because you change position. It doesn't hurt that much. You fall asleep, then at some point you wake up from the pain, you have to change position. And obviously my wife as well, it's because I move all the time in the bed, and it keeps her up from sleeping as well. It's yeah. Being Sciatifukt it does affect you and the people around you. Well, we're dealing with it. When spirits are high, hopefully surgery will be the solution to my problem. And yeah, I'll find another topic and I'll come back. Swearing. Swearing has got a lot worse since I've had sciatica. It seems to be like a temporary relief, temporary kind of vent, swear, and the pain kind of gets scared. I don't know, but maybe it's a natural response. That's why I'm starting to think that I should learn French and kind of swear Matrix style. At the moment, I'm swearing in probably Greek, because I'm Greek. Bit of Portuguese as well, because my wife's Portuguese, so we speak in Portuguese, and the swearing it depends. If she's around, I swear probably in Portuguese, or else I swear in Greek if I'm alone, and maybe in English sometimes as well, if I want the neighbours to know what's going on. Yeah, it helps. I think, why not? I mean, sciatica sufferers should be allowed to swear. It's not a bad thing. Or shout. But shouting, it's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit too serious, shouting. As when you scream from the pain, your other half or neighbours think, shit, this is serious, something's wrong, maybe we need to call an ambulance, people upstairs, if someone's being stabbed or whatever. So adding a few swear words, or a lot, just probably keeps the neighbours from calling 911 or 999, whatever it is here. I should know, actually. It's a good thing to know what the emergency number is in your country. It should be the same thing everywhere. Why isn't it, dial 1 for emergency? I suppose 1 would be, would cause a lot of problems. But dial, I don't know, 911, let's say, as they do in the USA, everywhere. I think in Greece it's 100, or I think that's the police, I don't know. But in the UK, I think it's 999 for emergency. Oh well. Anywho, swearing, swearing is good. Yeah. So I've also been thinking that it would be nice to have not a support group, I wouldn't call it a support group, but maybe like a discussion group, where people with sciatica get together and talk about whatever, even if it's not sciatica related. But, I suppose getting together would be quite hard. Would have to be something online, like a Skype call, Skype meeting, or I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll organize something, or maybe I'll get a group or something, at least like physiotherapy. For some people it helps with sciatica. It'd be nice to have like a group sciatica thing where they do specific exercises for people with sciatica, maybe like in a swimming pool or wherever. You just get them all together like in a van, take them to a place where they do this and, stretch it out. But yeah, I mean, the only options I've seen is going to like an osteopath, physiotherapy, and osteopaths, it costs about £60 a pop. Massage helps quite a bit temporarily. Acupuncture, it does help temporarily, but at least for me it hasn't helped in the long term. I was told by my masseuse that I would be dancing after 6 sessions of £65 a session, and not dancing, wiggling on the bed maybe, but dancing no. So try a couple out, see if it works, if it helps, and if not, continue with your stretching. Riding my motorbike, that helped a lot. I don't know, for some reason the posture would stretch my back, and I'd get off the back and I'd be a bit straighter. This is at the start when the pain wasn't as much. Now I could ride the bike, but it's a bit dangerous since you cannot really use your legs to stay on the bike when you're stopped, so it's a bit dangerous. So that's another thing I've stopped doing. You can ride a bike on the PlayStation, I suppose. Can do that. But yeah. There also comes a point when before you make the realization that this isn't going away in a week, medication is not going to make it go away, and you start thinking about your options, the long-term option is to kind of do physiotherapy till it goes away. But I've been doing it for 3 months and it's only got worse. So I used to go to the swimming pool. I tried to go every day. Then at some point I had to go every 3 days, because every time I'd come back it would take me about an hour to get on the bed without screaming in pain. And after the 3 days thing, then it got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore, because at some point I couldn't get out of the swimming pool. So I suppose the same thing as getting on and off the bed. When you get into the water, obviously there's not so much pressure, so your back decompresses, and then getting out of the swimming pool would compress, and the pain would be, I couldn't get out of the stairs in the swimming pool. The last time I nearly had to ask them for help, so I thought, okay, maybe it's not doing me good, because at the start I could go every day, got worse gradually, and now it's got a lot worse. So is it helping? Probably not. I haven't lifted anything for I don't know how long, so it's not like I'm doing the wrong things. I've only been doing the physiotherapy they've been telling me, the stretches, so I don't know, it doesn't seem to be helping. So the only option I can see is surgery, a discectomy as they call it. Hopefully now the appointment I'll have with the surgeons will say, yeah, that's what you need to do, and hopefully have it done and not have to wait maybe 6 months. From what I've seen, the discectomy in a private place costs about £6,000-7,000, which if I do that, then I'll have to live on the streets at the moment, maybe prostitute myself. So not an option at the moment. I probably wouldn't make much in the state that I'm in, so my wife wouldn't agree with that either. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait maybe for the NHS to do it. Yeah, but yeah, you search a lot on the internet about people's experiences with discectomies and things like that. Some people say, or at least haven't found anyone specific say, no, it didn't help. But I suppose well, the doctors say sometimes, yeah, you can have a bulging disc. A lot of people have it and it's asymptomatic, so it doesn't hurt or anything. So you might have the surgery take away the bulge and you're still with pain. So it might be, I don't know, a piriformis problem or something else, I don't know. But apparently it doesn't always cure the pain. But I suppose it depends on the case. And if your case is clearly the bulging disc, which is pressing against the sciatic nerve, then I suppose the surgery is a good option. But I suppose I'll know more once I talk to specialists. But from what I've seen is people actually have good things to say about the surgery they've had. The only problem is that cutting the disc doesn't actually, I don't know if they seal the outside of the layer, but you are more prone to getting another bulging disc at some point, I think. So you have to make sure that once you've had the surgery, you make sure you take care of your back, strengthen your core, do not lift things, do not do anything like that would cause another bulging disc, because I'm sure that would be even worse, having one, know what it's like, and then getting better, and then having another one. That would be bad. Psychologically, maybe even more than physically. And also, once you do cut that bulging thing off, because it comes in from the inside, your disc becomes smaller and smaller. So if you have another one, it'll become even smaller, and I suppose at some point you'll be left without disc, and your spinal vertebrae will be, I don't know, they'll have to use an implant for a disc afterwards. I don't know if they do that, but I suppose they do. So yeah, once you have the surgery, it's definitely not an option to do if there is a possibility of you getting better without it. So physiotherapy should be your first port of call try it out, make sure it helps. If it doesn't, then think of something else. I also had something which helped a lot with the pain, was a corticosteroid injection in the bum. So it was a Kenalog injection. I had 2. I remember the dosage, but it was good for about a month. I mean, the pain was a lot better. A lot better when you're standing still, or even walking. I was walking a bit, even though it didn't help with my crunch, my back leaning. For some reason, my body would tell me lean. Even though there wasn't much pain, for some reason my back would lean. After walking for about 5 minutes, my back would kind of lean gradually, even more and more. So walking, a good tip as well is if you have someone, you just put your hands against their back and just walk as if you're doing the Congo or something like that. So I suppose crutches help, but if you don't have them and you're in a situation where you have to walk and you're leaning, use someone's back to kind of take the pressure. Yeah. So yeah, I've come to the conclusion that mine is a surgical case, and yeah, we'll see what the doctors say in 2-3 weeks, as I said. So yeah, just wanted to expand on my toiletry situation, not toiletry. So yeah, as I said, for number 3, P, I use a bottle, a water bottle. So it's good because you don't have to get up, all that pain just to get to the toilet, have a pee. So I use a bottle, which I empty out, my wife empties out, as I said. And it depends on your situation down there if you can use a bottle or not to fit it. If you've got like a foreskin, a long foreskin, like an elephant trunk kind of thing, you could fit it in there because the bottle thing is quite small, the nozzle. So if you've got a long foreskin, you could put it in and aim it well, and you shouldn't splodge everywhere. But if you don't, I suppose you'd need something else. You can get those, I don't know what they're called, ducks or something that they give you at the hospital. But I find those a bit disgusting, and you have to change them every now and then. A bottle is good because it's also transparent, and it allows you to see the color of your pee, which is quite important when you're taking all this medicine. And as soon as you see it to get darker and darker and darker, you should check it out, because it might be blood. Because of the medicine you're taking, you might cause, I don't know, stomach problems, ulcers, and you start peeing blood, things like that. Maybe your kidney has a problem or whatever. So it's a good idea to have a water bottle or something transparent which you can fit your member inside, and have a look at the color of your pee, your number 3. For the ladies, don't know how that would work out. I barely know where it comes out from. I should ask my wife exactly where it comes out for, to know what the technical aspect of this could be look like. Suppose I don't know, shit, it must be even worse for ladies when they have sciatica. Because shit, then they'd have to go to the toilet. I mean, I just lie on my side, half of my side out of the bed, and my Willy Wonka dangling, insert it into the toilet and just go. But for women, man, yeah. And then once you splodge it all around, if your wife's out, don't know, doing shopping or working or whatever, if your partner, whatever, is out and you splodge everywhere, you're gonna have to sit there in your pee, because getting up, getting a cloth and cleaning it with this is like, I'd rather sleep in my own pee rather than maybe half an hour of pain clean it up. So make sure the bottle is adapted for your situation, or yeah, if there are any ladies out there who have a tip of how to do this, comment, we can talk about it. It is a bit disgusting. I mean, it's just basically water. It's, you know, yellow water. I even offer it to my friends who come to visit me, saying it's apple juice. It's not that disgusting. It's something that comes out of you. Shitting yourself or something like that would be a bit more disgusting, but still. We shit in our house, we pee in our house, in a toilet, but yeah, we live with this stuff. It's not that disgusting. I don't know why we can't talk about it. I'm sure we can. I don't think there's anybody complaining. We'll find out. But yeah, that's the toilet situation. Doing a number 2, a poo, is hard when you have sciatica, because you have to lean with your hand and, you know, wipe, and it hurts. I suppose if you want one of these Japanese cool technology toilets which you just go and then it just flushes water and cleans everything, that would be great for sciatica sufferers. But yeah, maybe I open up an online shop for sciatic equipment. Yeah, probably cost too much for one of those toilets, but it would be a good thing, because yeah, I mean, leaning to wipe yourself is painful. Since we've talked about the 2 bodily functions, 2 and 3, number 2 poo, number 3 wee, pee. Number 1, as I said, come, not come home or things like that. We know what we're talking about. That's painful as well. So love making. There's only one position, more or less, that doesn't hurt that much, and it gets a bit, you know, monotonous or monopositional. So I suppose it counts as stretching as a physical exercise. So yeah, don't stop doing that, even though it hurts, but it is worth it. I mean, yeah, once you have sciatica, it's all a question of weighing in terms of pain. So doing this is, it's a number 4 pain. Is it worth? Yeah. Number 5, number 6. You start, you know, you weigh the benefits of actually doing that with the pain you're going to suffer. So yeah. Again, to expand upon the bodily functions, not the 1, 2, or 3. Well, the 2, the poo, as I said, it hurts a lot to wipe yourself, but it also hurts a lot to push, to, you know, because for some reason I don't know, your nerves get stimulated, and it hurts a lot when you have sciatica. So I only go whenever I know it's gonna flow by itself. So only go when you know it's gonna flow, because then you don't have to pressure, and then it doesn't hurt. And it's one of the things, at least I know a lot of guys who like doing, is going to the toilet. You know, it's a relaxing sensation. Don't know, maybe it has, I don't know. I don't want to get into sexual things here, but it does give you pleasure, not sexual pleasure, but it does give you relief. Relief is a better word, yeah. So relieving yourself is great. So if you do it without pain, it's even better. But yeah, I wanted to stress on the point of not pressure, for the lack of a better word, I'll use pressure. You know, the thing. But it also can be when you sneeze, that the pain goes straight up to 8, to 9. Yeah, sneezing. It can also cause a bulging disc if you don't already have one. If your discs are, I don't know, not prone to bulging, but they're not strong, whatever. There are some people who have had bulging discs from a sneeze, and when you sneeze, your whole body goes into, you know, pressure to it kind of, you know, and the pain, it just goes boom down your leg, the whole thing. It only lasts for about 5 seconds, but it is a 5-second number 9 on the pain threshold. So every time I feel like sneezing, I have to quickly rub my nose like this, you know, and maybe blow my nose to make sure I don't sneeze, because the pain is wow. And getting a cold, I have had a cold since I've had sciatica. It lasted maybe a week or two, but luckily I could manage the sneezing because I do this trick, and I didn't have any coughing, because coughing as well hurts a lot. So luckily I didn't have any chest problems or whatever, coughing, so that was good. So another thing, when you have sciatica, make sure you don't get a cold, because these bodily functions, or these actions do cause a lot of pain. Yeah. Yeah, why did I start this vlog? I don't know what it's called. This monocidal conversation, this monologue. Probably because I've got a lot of time to myself since I've had sciatica. Because you basically just sit on your bed, either play PlayStation, do a bit of investigation into your career related stuff, but it gets a bit boring. Sometimes you just want to talk to yourself about what you're going through, so yeah, it's like a pastime. Maybe it'll give someone an idea of what they can do to make their sciatica better or deal with it better. Well, that's not really what I care about, but well, it's just basically for me, just to pass my time and introduce myself into the world of YouTubing. And yeah. So again, as you can see, I'm in a different position now. I'm facing up. After my 3-point system of getting on the bed, I have a lot less pain. Well, pain is 0 point something now, lying like this. So I will do a specific video on the 3-point system of how to get in and out of bed without much pain. A lot more descriptive, and maybe with pictures, with diagrams. We'll see, but it does work, at least for me. As I said, everybody's different with this. Well, that's what they say, even though the underlying cause is probably the same. But some tips which you don't find out there help. I won't go through the usual stuff you find on YouTube. There's no point in me repeating everything that everybody always says. The usual exercises you need to do, the stretching. Yeah. See you in a bit. I'll just leave this here till I get on the bed. Let me just put this up so you don't see any parts you shouldn't see. So I've got this leg now, the other one's going to come up on top now. 1, 2, oh fuck, it's going to hurt too much. 1, 2, fuck. So now this leg is going to stay like this. Like this, while I put this one straight like this. That's it. And now I'm gonna go to the end of the bed. So the legs as they were, and now I sit here for about 3-4 minutes. And when these 3-4 minutes go away, pass, the pain goes away slowly. And when I feel the pain has gone away enough, the right leg can straighten up. If you do it too early, it's gonna hurt a lot, so you bring it back up and wait for 3-4 minutes this time. I'm not gonna wait because I want to get this over with, so I straighten it. And once you wait in this position for another X amount of time, you feel the pain going away, then you start moving backwards. It's too early to do this, but I think I showed it in another video. So you move back till your head is actually on the bed as well, you're all straight, that pain goes away, and then you're able to move. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you an example of what happens now when you get out of bed after being in the bed for a while. As I said, the pain is a lot less during the light hours of the day, during like till 3 or 4 o'clock. Now it's 4 o'clock, so it's gonna hurt a bit, but it's not gonna hurt as much as if it were 7, 8 when I get out of bed. So you kind of feel like, you know, a zombie apocalypse kind of situation where you can't go out at night because the zombies run faster. Same thing here, the pain is a lot better during the day, so if you need to get out of bed, better do it during the day rather than during night time. Got to avoid the pain. So it's time to eat, so I'm gonna go to the kitchen where my wife made me lovely fish curry. She's left there prepared for me while she goes out to work. I'm gonna attempt to get to the kitchen before dark and show you what the experience is like. Got my crutches here waiting for me next to my toilet, so I'll get back to you as soon as I'm on the crutches. I'll try and find a way to hook the phone somewhere in my body so you can see what I'm doing, because I don't have three hands, three arms, so I'll find a way. As I said, it helps a lot if you have a stool and you sit as soon as you get up, because the pain is not so much till your spine compresses, but at the moment I've forgotten the stool inside, so I'm gonna have to get up first before using the crutches and lean on something. And luckily I've got this, whatever you call it, drawer thingy with the TV on top, which I'm gonna put my hands on. As you can see, the left leg is the one that hurts. I can't show it because I haven't got a spare hand, but I have to do this movement with my legs in order to move them in front. I call it the shuffle. So, yeah, I should have left the stool. Just said I can sit in the bed, but for some reason, because it's soft, it does the opposite. It hurts more. So I put my other hand here. Fuck, I can't. Yeah. I'm trying to put more and more pressure on my left leg to get it used to the pain or whatever. Something, if I do that, the pain goes away slowly. And as soon as the pain is gone enough, I'll be able to get the crutches, and then I'll hook this to my body and show you the process of getting to the kitchen. So, I'm gonna have to hold it while I hold the crutch. If you can see the crutch, you can see this one, you can see the other one more or less. Where is it? This is the other crutch, so I'll hold it in this hand so you can see the feet movement. So you kind of shuffle this leg in front till you can bring the left leg forward. I put my pressure more or less on the left leg. I don't know why, it's the one that hurts, but it seems to, I don't know, that's the way it works. So get on top of this cable using the shuffle technique, and then slide the other one, and then when I I'm on a slippery surface. I just slide one and bring the other one forward. Slide and slide with a perfectly curved back, and then we just slide. It's not very fast, so hopefully this won't take that much time. I might do even the speed up technique video so you don't have to go through this whole thing. Well, we're getting to the interesting point. Some huge steps I have to take, and the problem is putting extra pressure on the left leg. For some reason I can't do it on the right leg, which is the one that doesn't hurt, but I don't know. Shit, and then switch on the light, which means you probably can't see anything. But well, this is the step. So what I have to do is put the left. Oh fuck, I can't. Actually, no, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna put the left leg, leave it where it is. Put the right leg on top. Very fast, and then crutches help to bring the other one. And the same thing for the rest of the steps. And that's it. Ow. Shuffle. So we get to a nice slippery surface, and then we're there. Sit, extend the crutches, and we're in the kitchen. So we're in the kitchen now, we're about to eat. Usually I eat very fast. That's something my wife and every single person I know always tell me. But since I had sciatica, I eat even faster, because sitting down for long periods of time hurts. And it starts getting really uncomfortable. I have to move all the time left, right, till I find a comfortable position which doesn't exist. You're always looking for something that's not there when you're sitting down. So I have to eat quite fast. And yeah, sitting down, really bad. Apart from it being bad for you generally as a posture, now with sciatica it's even worse. Can't sit down for more than, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, so get up, eat, and then go back to bed. See you in a bit. One thing I forgot to mention, when you have sciatica, it's really good to have a good memory, because if you're alone at the moment in the house and you're halfway to the toilet and suddenly you hear your phone ring in the bedroom, you have a decision about to go back and get the phone or let it ring. Could be an important call, could maybe not. Maybe it's a PPI call, whatever you call it, you know. Have you been in an accident lately? So it's a risk you probably have to take, and I'll just leave it there. So it's best always when you get up, think and try to remember if you've forgotten something, if you need something to take with you on your travel to the toilet, like a phone, like your cigarette or vape cigarette in my case, which is the only thing I'll probably go back to the room for. Do you need anything else? So yeah, just make sure you don't forget, because then you'll have to do another trip walking, or I don't know what you'd call it. I wouldn't call it walking, but oh well, yeah. So I've eaten, I've made my way back to the bedroom. I'm on the bed after my 3-point system, and I remembered one very important thing is to talk about your psychological kind of part of the whole thing and how it affects your mood and mood swings. And it's very important to conquer these, especially when it comes to the people around you. Luckily, I have a very understanding wife, and she sees the pain I'm in, and she doesn't take me too seriously when I get, you know, moody. But I'm a bit of a grumpy person when I wake up anyway, naturally. So at the start, when the pain was, you know, all the time, and still is all the time, but even worse, because I wasn't used to it. In the mornings, I'd be like an orc. I don't know, something terrible, a beast. And I would get really grumpy and, you know, really moody. But yeah, a lot of forgiveness asking and sorry saying. But yeah, we've got to an understanding now that, you know, this does affect me. But the last month, maybe so, I have come to be able to manage it, and, you know, I think it comes with acceptance. You know, I've got this shit. It's here for I don't know how long, and I just got to deal with it, and obviously not take it out on the person who's there to help me. And so yeah, it's got a lot better, but it is something to think about at the start. You know, when you're in all this constant pain, it does make you very grumpy. And, you know, when I was able to walk out and walk for a bit more, I would get really pissed off with people who would be in my way, you know, going about their normal lives. But, you know, obviously there's no justification, but, you know, you need to manage that as well. Yeah. How is just, you know, being conscious in the moment that you're doing it, and say, yeah, I'm getting angry for, you know, there's no point in getting angry. Just, you know, relax and take the pain, manage it. And I suppose that's what pain management classes help with. As I saw, well, reading about this on the internet, and in my case, in the NHS here in London where I live, they do offer pain management classes. So I suppose it's one thing they help you with, how to manage it, how to live with it. It does seem at the beginning, what the fuck is this? Pain management. You know, it seems kind of a long-term thing, which I suppose many people go through. Maybe not with sciatica, with something else. Or even though with sciatica, I've seen on the internet about people who live with it for 2 years, you know, in constant pain. Usually in the United States, where maybe they don't have access to, I don't know, health insurance or whatever. But maybe with other kind of, I don't know, maybe diseases or whatever, that they're in constant pain and all the time. I've even forgotten what I was saying. What was I saying? Something about pain. But yeah, it's managing it. Yeah, oh yeah, about pain management. Yeah, it seems like something condemning. You're going to have pain for the rest of your life. You might as well learn to live with it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, I suppose it does help you with, you know, your attitude and learning how to manage it, and how to let go, and don't be a dick to other people, especially. And you'll be better. Yeah, you get used to it.